Hello and welcome back to or maybe here for the first time. My name is Will Perry. Welcome to Keeping the Conversation Alive. So my daily videos delivered to you in an email if you choose that way, and there's a link around here to get that. So when you see it today, when you see it, you only have two choices. I want to explain that, and then that. When you choose the right one, that is when you're on the path of becoming. So this comes from a conversation that we've had on our very recent group coaching session on Pathway. And I wanted to share that and see whether you get the essence of that, see whether this makes sense and resonates with you, if you can relate to this. And it's all kind of, I'm just looking over here, sorry, on my little list, but the solving the problem, why we're also trapped, because we're looking at what we think are the real problems, but the one at the center is the mother of all beliefs. So it's really difficult to find and understand that, and I've spent 13 plus years trying to find that, and many times I thought I'd found it and hadn't. And that's what I've kind of encapsulated in this picture. There's all these massive issues on their own, and we get focused on them when actually there's something else going on deeper, if you see my point. So it all comes down to two choices. What does that mean? So it was really confirming and really interesting for me on this group discussion on the coaching session that we have every month, that it all really resonated with the group coming into this point as well. Not all necessarily at the same time, but the majority. And it's kind of like the program, or if you want to find out or amass knowledge. Say just one of the group was going to university, and was also saying, the program, as in Pathway, with all the online content and everything, need to go through the program again, and that's there. And it's like I often say that knowledge is academic. Knowledge is very useful. It's very, but it's nothing on its own. Knowledge on its own won't change it. There's this point where you need to put stuff into action, and that's where stuff happens. Not with the knowledge, because often there's a temptation to, no, I just need to find out one more thing, because there's a resistance there, and it's a kind of self-sabotage that you just keep continually finding out more and amassing more knowledge rather than putting stuff into action, because that's the real grind, that's the real difficulty, that's where it becomes difficult. When we put stuff into action. So relying too much on knowledge can be difficult, because we need to get to the grind, we need to put this stuff into action. That's when things become difficult. Bumping and grinding are something else, isn't it? So that's where things really become challenging, and that is where the interesting point is. That's where you need to push yourself to. So do you want to work from, I'll do it for you, your past? Do you want to continue your future from your past, or do you want your future to be more designed and free from self-sabotage and free from the patterns of the past? So you have two choices there. Do you want the past in your future, or do you want to design your future the way you want it? Now that might sound like really obvious, but it's the stuff that we need to trigger to get these two choices. We need to trigger ourselves. We need to push ourselves, and that comes out of that action. So we need to get ourselves into a situation where we are kind of triggered to go, challenged, and that's when we have the two choices. Do I just go and do what I normally do, reacting from your past? Just going into your default mode, just carrying on how you always carry on, or because it's difficult, put it into the grind. And do I then go, oh crap, just a minute, I'm operating from, or I was just about to operate from, my mother of all beliefs. I know what it is, I've done the work. It's like, oh crap, no, I want to avoid doing my past stuff, and I want to work for my future, and I've designed that, and it's like, oh God, I need to do then this. And that's when you put something new into action. And that can be just, a choice of, how you are with friends, family, something you do that you'd normally put off. It could be anything, but it's something to do with action. Action, action, action. And it's really interesting that the guys on the program could absolutely relate to that, and they were, reflecting it and using it in lots of different ways. And it might not relate, but one of the analogies that came up was from Trina, bless her, was that it's like fresh meat. You don't leave it. You need to use it quickly. You need to otherwise it goes off quickly. And she was saying that about her, that about this new change, that she needs to keep working on her, basically. Not amassing knowledge, not, just getting more knowledge or focusing on something new, but actually putting it into action and working on stuff. And that was the analogy that she used. She needs to do this and need to do it daily. But it's so easy to not do it. So to be in that position, you need to trigger off something. You need to trigger off, and that's putting something into action. And it's like, oh, you've got two choices, past or future. My old belief or my new belief. And that's what you need to have done the work for, so that when it triggers off you, when you get to a difficult point, when you're with a friend and they react and you go, oh, because normally you go fold and, oh yeah, I'm fine, to then go, actually no, or choose to be in a different way, but not react the way you'd normally react to whatever it is. I'm trying to be generalized, to be different. And for me, that's really interesting, but it comes down to a trigger point. It's like, you need to get that trigger point each day, and that's what helps move you forward each day. Not with knowledge, not amassing more knowledge, but by putting stuff and putting your knowledge into action. I don't know if this is making sense to you. I'm trying to obviously keep it general. Do you need an example? So one came from Emma, which was somebody said something normally about her, and it had a word. That's why I think trigger came. It had a word that for her was a real trigger word. And it instantly had that catalogue, that domino effect in her mind, where it's like, oh no, they've said that, oh my God, they must think, and boom, 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 boom. It was automatic, boom, 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 firing off. That's what triggering thing is. But then in that moment, because she's done so much work on the program and everything, and she's the accountability partner on the program. She's ahead of the game of most of the people on the program, as you'd want it. She was sharing this, that in that moment, then she was like, just a minute, no, I'd normally react like this, but now I need to react like that. And it's like, oh, and she changed herself in that moment. And that's what you need to be able to do. Trigger stuff. I have two choices. Do I just fold and go how I used to go? Or do I go the new path? And it's lovely. And there's, who would know? Nobody would know except you. It's the work that you're doing. So what you need to do is trigger yourself each day. And this is the challenge. And this is the challenge where putting stuff into action on a daily basis, on everyday sort of stuff, is where you become. And that's the journey of becoming. And that's where the real change happens every day in normal life. Not just like, oh, by the 18th of whatever month of whatever year I will have dum. That's not the achievement point. It's like the daily becoming. And that's a beautiful thing and a lovely thing. And that's what I witnessed in the coaching session. This transformation. But it's a gradual transformation. It's happening every day when you challenge yourself and you have those two, you trigger yourself and you've got these two choices. And it's like past or present. And it's like, oh, and you consciously make that effort. Maybe you're not consistent. Maybe other times you go, oh, damn, I wish I had done that and I didn't. But you're still conscious of it. You're still triggering that thought of who you're going to be. And that comes from the mother of all beliefs, the old pattern, or the one that you design and create with, which we do within the pathway. But, you can create a new way of being. You just need to do it on a daily basis for it to become a habit, for it to become a pathway that you can forge in your mind, in your pathway that becomes natural and you can put into action and become reality. So that's an awesome thing. So my invitation to you, my invitation to you is to trigger yourself and give yourself these two choices. Now, if you want help with that, obviously that's what the pathway is all about. It's a year-long program, but it's not easy. There's so much layered into this stuff. But trigger yourself each day to give yourself just two simple choices. Do I want to act from my past, from my negative beliefs, or do I want to act from my future beliefs, my positive beliefs about myself? Because we self-sabotage from the negative ones, and that will only give us more of what we've had before. All right, many thanks. Lots of love. I'll bring this one up just to remind myself. Take the test if you haven't already. I'll put the link around here. But do comment, get involved in this. Let me know your thoughts on this, what it triggers in you, whether this made sense about the two choices that you have. Comment, like and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Let me know you're out there. Give me your thoughts. Lots of love. Loves you, boyo. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.